Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Grinch house. This is based on the new Grinch. I've gave him a scarf, a Santa hat, and I've even included Max as well. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to hit that like button as it really helps me and the channel out very much. And if you make it all the way to the end, please share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. Without any further ado, let's get started. So before we begin, here are all of the materials that we're going to be using. We only need the ones in my hotbar right now, unless you do actually want to properly turn this into a house rather than a statue, in which case you'll need like doors and interior materials. But we need lime concrete, green, red, orange, pink, white, black, brown concrete, and that last one there, kind of confusing, is black terracotta. Very important, that's to make Max. So make sure that you have absolutely every single one of these. We need loads of them. Pause the video if you have to, and once you have all that stuff, we can begin. So I want to start off by placing a row of 6 lime concrete in a row on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Place 2 lime concretes going back right diagonally. 1, 2. Go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place 2 back lime concretes going back diagonally. 1, 2. Go left by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place 2 lime concretes in front of and to the left of this. 1, 2. Come down by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place a lime concrete to the right, forward diagonally. And that will give us a shape that should look exactly like this, which is going to be the foundation for the Grinch. On top of every single one of these limes, I want you to place an additional 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is quite a tedious process. However you want to increase the amount of lime concretes on top of these rows is completely up to you. But this is the base circular shape that the Grinch is made out of. So this is a very important part. And if you indeed want to live inside of this, then this is going to be your main living area. It doesn't get too much bigger than this. However, this house does have an option that you can have a secret room hidden away inside of the Grinch's head, but for the most part, this is the main living area. So once this is done, we have completed quite literally a large amount of the house. Not a very detailed amount of the house, but a large amount of the house nonetheless. So we should have something which should look exactly like this. On top of this, I want you to stack a layer of green concrete. Just directly on top, like this, going around a ring on top of the lime. There we are. So now that we have added that single layer of green concrete, I want you to extend that layer of green concrete one row outwards. So basically, we are just broadening the shape that we have placed here, and we are making it overhang the lime concrete area by one row, just like that. So all the way around, we want to make it look like this. Then I want you to, in the corners of this shape, so this is a little bit tricky to explain, but the corners of the shape where we have the 2 diagonal green blocks, I want you to place an additional green coming down, and then a green in between them at the bottom, like this, coming out diagonally. And I want you to do this on each one of the 4 corners. So that's the only place that you will find those 2 diagonal blocks, the corners. And it kind of reminds me of a jester for some reason. You know how they have those like hanging things around their neck? That cloth stuff with like the bells on the end? That's what this kind of reminds me of a little bit. So that's what we want to have in each one of the 4 corners. And not only that, but we also want to take the sides, the long sides, and we want to take the 2 middle blocks and we want to just extend them down each by 1. So the 2 middle blocks, extend them down each by 1. So that is on absolutely each one of the 4 sides. And that is a decent amount of detail added around the, what I would call the collar of the Grinch. However, we also want to shape the bottom of this build a little bit. So the way we're going to do it is going to be in the corners. First, we're going to join the corners together by placing 3 lime concretes. I then want you to extend the 2 inward blocks up by an additional 1. The Grinch is not a slender individual, he is kind of fat. He's got a belly, and that's what we're portraying by doing this. So you add the corner and raise up the 2 inward blocks. You do this on the on each one of the 4 corners. Like, he's got like a very slender upper torso, but his lower torso, he's got like a hanging, sticky out sort of belly. It's kind of a weird shape actually, so that's what we want to have. And not only that, once you have done that, I want you to come all the way up here, and we are going to place some more green concrete. So all we're going to be doing up here is I want you to place a layer of green concrete that it basically, we want to place this. It's kind of hard to explain. We just want to have a layer of green concrete that basically it just sits on top of the original layer of green that we placed. So it kind of looks like that, right? So from the side you kind of get that effect, like a layered effect. So on top of the original, and then fill the middle of it in using green concrete, and that's all you've got to do. Basically, we're just kind of like putting a cork in the top of the Grinch bottle. So we're just going to now completely fill that in, and then you'll be able to see how much living space you actually have. It's pretty much just like this entire part here. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is we want to find the middle on the front of the Grinch. So like, this is the middle. It's an even number. The sides are 6, so we have 2 middle blocks, hence why we have 2 green blocks here. Why am I talking about this? Well, it's important because of this. I want you to note where these blocks are, and I want you to come to the top of the build, figuring out where the middle is, and I want you to come in 1, 2. So these 2 middle blocks here, I want you to place red concrete. So does that make sense? So where the 2 middle blocks are on the front of the statue, you follow them up 1, 2 rows inwards, that's where we place the red. And we extend those left and right, and then we place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right in the middle of the top of the statue, we have a 4-sided, a 4-long square kind of, but it's supposed to be sort of like a circle. On top of this, I want you to place orange concrete, because this is a scarf, by the way. On top of that, a layer of red concrete. I want you to extend the corners inwards, each by 1, to soften the shape a bit so it looks a little bit more circular. And then I want you to place lime concrete inside each one of those 4 sides now. So we have 2, 2, 2, 2, like that. And I want you to place, just on top of this, I want you to extend it up by just 1 row, like the entire lime section, like that. So what we should have should look like this. It looks very strange now. It kind of looks like a Brussels sprout with like a hat on it or something like that. But that's perfectly fine. So I want you to come all the way up to the top, and I want to take these left 2 lime concrete blocks, and I want to extend them. I want to place 3 upper left diagonals coming up from either one of these left 2. It doesn't matter. Like 1, 2, 3 diagonals. Go up by 2, 1, 2, place an upper right diagonal, and go up by 1. Place a white concrete on top, this is where it gets tricky, ladies and gentlemen, and then I want you to place 3 upper right diagonals using red concrete. So that's like 1, 2, 3. Go right 1, place 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2. Place a white concrete bottom right diagonally. Place 2 lime concretes underneath. Lime concrete bottom right diagonally. Down by 2. And then 2 bottom left diagonals connecting back together. That's 1 and 2. just like that. And of course, not only do we want to just have one layer of that, but we also want to make sure that that is double layered. So it wants to sit just directly in the side, the center of the neck, or the head, however you want to look at it, just like that. You want every single block, including the white blocks, the red blocks, the green blocks, all of these to be double layered, just like that. And as a matter of fact, just to make the head look a little bit more 3D, we are going to take the shape of the head and we are going to add another layer in front and behind as well. So once you have added another layer to the back, add another layer to the front, so they're like overhangs by one, and do the same on the back as well. So the base shape of the head will be 3 rows thick rather than the 2, and it will look a lot more 3D like this. It will look a bit more proportional, and it will look a little bit better. So the only thing that we're going to want to do as well is we also want to connect the head together at the bottom now, which just means placing a lime concrete here, 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 and here. So just like that, so that it just all connects together and we don't have any sort of weird holes. That's pretty important. Okay, next thing. So now that we have a head that is 4 rows thick in total, alright, instead of the 2, on the front of the head, we're going to start adding more detail. The back of the head is different from the front here because obviously the Grinch doesn't have 2 faces. So we're going to take these blocks that we just used to fill in these gaps and we're going to extend them towards us. We're going to join them together in the middle, and then starting from this left side, I want you to place an up left diagonal lime concrete. Place another one up left diagonally. Place 2 on top, 1, 2. And then up right diagonally from that, place a white concrete. I want you to place a green concrete on top. And then I want you to place a white on top of that. And then place 2 up right red diagonals. 1, 2. Go right 1. Place a bottom right red diagonal. Place a bottom right white diagonal, green underneath, white underneath, place a lime concrete bottom right diagonally, go down by 2, place a lime concrete bottom left diagonally. So this is the sort of shape that we should have, and it's a bit of a weird one. What we then want to do is for the next layer here, I want you to place pink concrete on top of these 2 bottom center lime concretes. Extend the pink towards you, place a lime concrete left of this, go up on top of it, left 1, up by 2, 1, 2, place a white concrete, place a black right of that, place green concrete on top of each block, place a white concrete on top of the right green one, place 3 white concretes going right, 1, 2, 3. Fill this gap in at the top using red concrete. Place underneath this right white concrete a green. Go right by 1 with the green. Underneath the left green concrete, place a black. Right of that a white. Go down by 1, 2, 3 with the lime. Left 1, down 1. Just like that. Fill the middle of the face in using lime concrete, like this. And then place 2 green concretes just 1 row above where the mouth is, leave a gap, and place 2 green concretes. And you will have Mr. Grinch's face. And once you have done that, we can now, once that has been done, come to the back of the build. And we can start to do the back of the head. So the back of the head is obviously a little bit different because there's no face here. So we're going to take these 2 initial lime concretes here and we're going to extend them 1 row towards us. Join them together. Then from here, we're going to place 2 up left diagonal lime concretes. Up by 2. Up right diagonal with the lime. place one on top, place a white concrete on top of that, 2 upright diagonal red concretes, go right by 1, place a bottom right diagonal red, bottom right diagonal white, place 2 lime coming down, I think we destroyed a block over there, place a bottom right diagonal lime, down by 2, bottom left diagonal, like that. Then in front of all of this empty space, we are going to place using the lime concrete first of all, starting from the bottom, coming all the way up to the top here, just sitting underneath the white. I want you to place all of this lime concrete because that's going to be the bottom half of the head, like that, coming up as far. You can see where the separation is between the lime and the other colours. And then place white concrete on top of the lime, and then fill that little gap in there with red concrete. And there you go, guys. That is the Grinch's head. That is not all of Grinch's head, but that's a decent portion of it. So the thing that we're missing off of the head area at the back is for the Santa hat. In front of these middle 2 white concretes here, I want you to place red concrete. Go down by 2 rows. Place 2 rows of white coming down, and extend those rows of white outwards 1 row. So that's basically just like the hanging part of the hat. Not only do you want to create a hangy part of the hat, but you want to create a hangy part of the scarf. So on the side of the build, I want you to take this row of 4 red, and this is the left side, by the way. You could do this on the right, you could invert it if you so chose, or even put it on the front or the back. Doesn't really matter, I guess, but the left side is where I like it. And we're going to place 2 rows of red coming out from this one. 1, 2. We're going to place a row of red coming down diagonally. We're going to destroy all of these green blocks just below. And then we're going to add 2 layers of orange. 1, 2 underneath. And then 2 layers of red underneath the orange. And then 2 layers of orange underneath the red. And then we're going to add a little bit more. We'll add a little bit more red than there is orange. So we'll just connect this down to the ground using red concrete, like that. And then we're going to extend the middle out a little bit. So we're going to take these, the bottom 2 layers of red, and we'll extend them out. The 2 middle blocks extend up by 1. And also extend out the 2 middle blocks of the oranges all the way up above, coming up towards the top, and also do the same with the red as well, like coming just up towards the top, like that. So we're kind of giving a little bit of a shape to the scarf. And then right at the bottom, you know those little end bits that you have on a scarf? Just place a couple of white concrete blocks that are like that, just away from each other. It kind of reminds me of a plug or teeth. Anyway, that's what we want to have right there. And that just looks like a pretty good hanging scarf. And from there, we can even give the Grinch an arm as well. So his arm's really simple. It's about 1 row thin. It's coming from this red block here, just connected to the white. And we'll place about a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 coming outwards. Place another row of, let's say 3. 1, 2, 3, and raise those 3 blocks upwards. So the Grinch has really weird arms and hands. Again, they're really like, they're stick thin, which is really, really strange. But yeah, something like that will be fine, and that'll look pretty good. You can increase the thickness if you so choose. On the opposite side of the statue, we have a dog. We have Max. So how are we going to make Max? It's quite easy. I want you to begin by placing, coming right of the front right corner of the Grinch, I want you to place a row of 5 brown concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to raise up the 3 middle blocks. 1, 2, 3. And in front of this, another row of brown. And behind it, another row of brown. Like that. And then I want you to raise up these 3 middle blocks and extend them towards you, like that. And I also want you to extend them backwards also, just so that they kind of overhang the back of this little shape equally, just like that. Kind of reminds me of like a weird anvil or something. Anyway, I want you to take the front specifically, and I want you to raise it up by a row using your brown. On the left of this row, place a white. On the right of the row, place a white. Black on top of the white. Brown in the middle. Place another row of brown on top. Place brown concrete all behind this, coming towards the back of the head. You basically just fill the entire back of the head in, the entire middle of the head, pretty much all just brown concrete. I'm not going to fill literally the middle part in though, because it seems like a waste of blocks. And we'll be given this shape, which looks really, really strange. So I'm going to place a black concrete just in between the eyes at the bottom to make a nose. Then I'm going to use black terracotta to create ears. These are going to be right in the middle of the head. They're going to be 1, 2, 3 blocks thick, and they're going to hang down by 1, 2, 3 as well. So 3 by 3 areas. Well, it's actually 3 by 4, but we want to do this on both sides of the head. They hang just below the eyes. They come all the way up to the top of the head. They're 3 rows thick front to back and 4 rows long. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be Max and the Grinch. And should you be curious about how you would go about making the inside and all that fun stuff, well, all you have to do is very simply just knock into the middle of the statue, probably about 2 right in the middle, place a double door. If you come inside, you can refloor the area using whatever you like. I like oak. You would light it up using torches, and you can see you've got a nice Grinchy themed house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I think is pretty much that. I don't think I've got anything else to show you, to tell you. Maybe something that you would like to do, perhaps, is you would like to add the rest of the arm here on the right side. It's a very small detail, but basically all you would do is just place like a row of lime concrete coming down from the Grinch's body and just extend it forward, so he's almost as like petting Max, or like his arms on Max's back or something, you know, something like that. You don't even really need to bother with that extra arm, honestly, but I do hope... Let's get rid of that. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. This was kind of like a fun one to build. I love the original Grinch, and I haven't watched the new movie yet, but I'm sure that it'll be good. It looks like a good trailer, so I thought it'd be fun to make the Grinch, especially considering the fact it's Christmas time. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me in the channel out very, 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 very much. It really, really does, honestly, so much. If you have enjoyed the content enough to make it this far, please share the video with a friend, make it to the end, share the video with a friend, sharing is caring. And if you'd like to make any more cartoon, movie related houses, check out the card system and the description below for that playlist. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all of you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.